Alright, I did not want her to go on this trip, but she insisted that she wasn't gonna cheat on me or do anything stupid. And I couldn't control her. I could either be angry or be okay with it, so I decided to just act chill and be okay with it. She said it was only girls and they were going to Miami for innocent fun. Drinking and dancing and no guys allowed. I believed her, but I am needy and I love her, so every morning while she was gone, we would FaceTime for a bit, just say good morning and stuff. I would miss her. She was out having fun, but she'd still FaceTime me every morning, and I loved that. I looked forward to seeing her. I FaceTimed her this morning, and she kept declining it, and I texted her asking her what she was doing that for. She said she just didn't want to talk because she looked ugly, and I was very confused since I don't care about that. So I kept calling and she finally picked up, and she was with one of her girlfriends eating breakfast in bed with some random Italian-looking guy. She tried to purposely hide him from the camera, but I'm not dumb. I asked her who that was and she immediately was like, listen, nothing happened, I didn't do anything, so don't yell at me. We met him last night at the club, he's nice and let us spend the night, and he slept on his couch, nothing happened, so don't worry. I was pissed off because she was implying that I'd be overreacting if I got mad that she was in bed with another guy, but I continued with our morning talk. She's still on her trip and I don't know what to think. Does it seem like she was lying? Update. Yeah, I wasn't really sure, but everyone's convinced me that I have a right to be upset. I just texted her that she can enjoy her vacation without worrying about me at home because we're over. I DK what her response will be, but I'm done. That's ducking disrespectful to sleep over with some random guy even if they didn't do anything, which I doubt. Duck, I'm over it. Update 2. Basically she saw my text, freaked out and did the whole no, you're not breaking up with me, I didn't do anything, what are you saying, we're still together, and she said she's getting a flight home early. I just ignored her texts. She also called me about 100 times for our morning FaceTime call and I declined. I wanted to tell her that I had a girl in my bed and we're eating pancakes, but that's petty AF, so I didn't. Yeah, I DK if I should talk to her when she gets back or just ignore her. I kind of just want to be done with her. Even if she didn't cheat, it's not right to be in bed with someone else and stuff, that's not okay. Update 3. Probably the last update since I'm not changing my mind, and that's it. A ton of people are asking, so sorry for those who think I'm going on too much about it. She took an early flight and is back in New York. Of course, all her friends were texting me saying she's innocent and didn't do anything, and I better forgive her and not break her heart, or else, as if these 5 girls are gonna attack me or something. F or bitch. Come on. Am I the only one who hates when girls say crap like this, lol, and that I'm overreacting? And she came to my ducking house and of course, my mom let her in, and I told her I didn't want to see her, and she wasn't listening, and just cried to my mom saying I broke up with her for no reason, and making me seem like the bad guy, so I told my mom that she spent the night at a random guy's house, and was in his bed in the morning. Yeah, that was embarrassing to tell my mom our business, and it got messy, but she was acting so innocent, and she's the one who came crying and crap all dramatic. Anyway, my mom was just trying to get her to calm down, but I left BC. I hate bullcrap like that. Currently at Panera Bread eating a Tom Ma's panini and half lemonade half green tea. Waiting for my brother to text me that she left our house. He told me she is still crying to my mom and saying she didn't do anything. Yeah, unfortunately I am done with her, that's it, no more chances. I just want to go home, WTF. Anyway, thanks for everyone's advice. You guys are the best, and I appreciate all the messages I got. I will not waste any more time on her. TBH, I am a very passionate guy, I would never cheat on a girl or mistreat her. When I make a girl my girlfriend, like another comment said, that means she's a potential wife. I don't take that crap lightly. I love intensely and with all my heart, as cheesy as it sounds. And I'm sure a girl is out there who wants a guy who is obsessed with the relationship like I am, lol. If I love a girl, I am all hers, but I refuse to be disrespected and stepped on like what the duck. Spending the night at some random Jersey Shore Pauly D lookin' but guy's bed, and then crying to my MF mother that I dumped her for no reason? That crap was embarrassing. My ducking dog got in the middle and was staring like WTF, some crap is going on, I have to see this. Goddamn. First of all, I would never even go on a vacation without my girlfriend. What's the point? That crap is boring. Drinking and dancing at a club, and then going to an empty hotel room alone while everyone else is hooking up. How the duck is that even fun? I'd need my girl there to have some fun with. That's like torture, not a vacation. IDK anyway, I'm ducking over it. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Going to a sleepover with a random guy they just met while out partying is not really inappropriate and potentially dangerous. They have hotel rooms, yes? So why go to his house? Eating breakfast in bed with him is by far too intimate. Trying to hide the whole thing tells you she knows it was wrong. But she obviously did it anyway. Her actions make strangers assume something rather inappropriate happened. Perhaps full-on cheating. Yet you are supposed to assume it's fine even though she tried to hide it. Because she would never do that. Not cool. Comment 2. I think you did the right thing. I saw a reply on your original post that said something about viewing dating as a sort of interview for compatibility. Even if your ex didn't cheat, she did something that you don't deem acceptable in monogamous relationships and lied to you about it when she claimed she didn't want to get on FaceTime because she looked ugly. You view it as a deal breaker, so it is. End of story. I am kind of like you in the sense of being somewhat needy, or codependent in my case, working on that in therapy, by the way, and have dated partners that did really horrible things and blamed it on me being needy. In reality, there is someone out there that doesn't mind me wanting to be in contact with them often, not all day because that's ridiculous, but at least once a day. I just haven't found them yet. Comment 3. You did the right thing. I don't even think she cheated. But she wasn't trustworthy. If you want to be trusted, you have to act trustworthy. Nobody wants to spend their time trusting someone 24/7. It's exhausting. OP reply. I need a girl who will not sleep in random guys' beds. I never thought there'd be confusion with that, but evidently some girls think it's okay when in a relationship. IDK, who told them that? Probably Amber Rose or some crap. Crazy fiancé broke down after I bought paternity test and made her do it. Baby turned out to be affair partners. I have been engaged to marry my fiancé for approximate 4 years, together for over 10 years. We had our ups and downs, probably like most, but it was never due to anything dubious, as far as I'm aware. I have been sensing/feeling/seeing new red flags pop up about 6 months ago when my so started a new job. I had supported her throughout her education prior to this new job, and we were both excited that she would be able to pursue a career with her new credentials. Now that she's been on the job for a few months, she's started making new friends. So the first few red flags were her staying out very late, 3 a.m., or staying out overnight. She states she slept at her sister's house, and not coming home until the morning after. I am one to trust, so I let it go without further investigation. Then, she goes out of state to a beach about 6 hours away with her new friends from work, or so she told me at the time. Apparently, when she was at this beach trip, she met a guy at a bar, and they proceeded to have sex. So 8 weeks ago, my so came home after the trip, and a day later she stated she needed to leave to rethink our engagement and relationship. I am blindsided, obviously, because I'd been carrying on like normal, not knowing anything was really going on. At this point I don't know about the cheating. I asked her to stay and offered to go to counseling, but she insisted and left, and was, supposedly, sleeping at her sister's house. She eventually did come back, and stated she wanted to work on things, and also confirmed she would be willing to go to couples counseling. 3 weeks ago, she told me she's pregnant. Again, I'm one to trust, so I assume it's mine as we've been trying for a while to start a family. I get excited and start making baby plans, buying baby books, corner protectors, etc. However, I had those red flags pop up in my mind, and my thoughts started to spiral. So, I told her I would like to have a paternity test done, to confirm I'm the father. I stated that I trusted her, but I explained it as my own insecurity, and needed to fulfill this request. She was upset that I made the request, and we pushed it aside for a while. I brought up the paternity test again this Friday at home, as we were discussing the baby. She broke down at this time and told me she's been cheating on me, and that she is 100% sure that the father is the other guy. She then told me she made an appointment for termination for the next day. I was shocked, to say the least, and my heart was broken. I didn't freak out, I'm still waiting for that to happen if I'm honest, and told her I would take her to her termination appointment, as it was over an hour away and didn't want her getting sick or something on the way home. She later tells me that she met this guy on her beach trip when they had sex, and then they met up again, I assumed during her other stay at her sister's, but she denies this, and had sex for a second time, what she tells me could be more than twice IDK. She told me the father told her that he wants nothing to do with the child, and he recommended her to get in termination. She's been wanting a baby for a while, so this was difficult for her to hear, I'm sure. He also suggested that she get me to raise it. LOL WTF, I guess they talked about me. Who knows, maybe if I wasn't talking about paternity testing I would have fallen into that. I promptly left our apartment and moved back in with my parents. She is trying to say that she loves me, but I'm devastated and can't see anything being repaired at this point. I am just so upset about the life we had being destroyed, and I lost my companion, her dog, but I am home with it all the time as I WFH, and all the other things that crumble alongside a relationship dying. I guess I'm looking for some advice on what to do next. Or for some insight on how to start feeling the effects of this, because I feel done right now. Edit, thank you for all of the support, reading these comments is helping me cope with the situation, so I appreciate it. I have moved out about 85% of all of my stuff, some of the remaining items are in storage and bundled together, so I will have to schedule some time with the ex-fiancée to go through it all, but once that last trip there is done then I'll be completely moved out. I have everything of significant value out of there. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. She would have let you raise his child as yours if you hadn't asked for a paternity test. She would have probably continued her affair as you painted the nursery and put together a crib. Dead angle your life from hers and go and see, then grieve for the future you had planned with her. Lean on family and friends. Get therapy. Keep yourself busy. There has never been a landlord who doesn't alter the lease that I've ever heard of once you tell them your spouse is cheating. OP reply. I spoke with the landlord. It's corporate, so they're a little strict, but basically they told me I can file an addendum that would state I have left, however, I would still be primary on the account. So, she would have the ability to sign a new roommate, but if anything happens, e.g. they don't pay rent, or damage the building, etc., I'd be on the hook, at least until August when the lease expires. Or, I can terminate early. I will be paying Dex rent, as X already paid her share of it, and then filing early termination. X will have to leave the property by December 31st, and I will pay 2 months' rent and be done with it. Comment 2. You need to go no contact. You're numb because you're grieving over the loss of a relationship, which is normal considering the length of the relationship. It will get better with time, but the no contact is crucial given the relationship is done. It's the only way to get past it. Stay strong and don't look back, and be grateful for the bullet you dodged. OP reply. Yeah, thanks, I wish I could, but there's a bunch of items to go through and separate, plus we're both on the lease, so I have to discuss early termination of the lease with the landlord, and I'm assuming she'll have to be a part of that discussion. I will try to limit the amount of contact as much as possible. Cheating fiancé didn't know I'm clean and said baby was mine, so I exposed her affair. We had been trying to have a baby for a few years. Eventually we found out I was sterile. We accepted it and decided to hold off on trying so hard and said that we would figure out what I do in the future. Although we weren't trying, we were continuing to have sex obviously. One day she missed her period and we found out he was pregnant. I was so happy and I thought it was amazing. We joked about how as soon as we stopped trying she ended up pregnant. The doctor said that it was a miracle baby. The night that the baby was born I couldn't be happier. I was just happy to finally have a baby, and so excited to take her home. After a few days of taking care of her, I couldn't help but notice that she was extremely pale. For reference, I am black and she is white. I figure she would eventually darken a little, and I didn't want to overthink it. Then our friends came over, and while the girls were inside, we were out back drinking. They all mentioned that they didn't want to worry me or to cause drama, but asked if I ever thought my fiancé would cheat on me. I thought I was very weird, and then I knew exactly where they were going with it. I said no, and we talked about our concerns with the baby's skin tone. However, I still tried to brush it off, thinking that the baby would get darker after a while. Now the baby is 5 months and I can't help but question if she's mine every day. She has very fine hair. No kinks or curls, just bone straight hair. I know she's a baby, but I have been around plenty of babies who still have natural curls. She is also still very pale. The thing that's been bothering me the most is that every day she looks more and more Asian in the eyes. I don't mean to offend anyone at all, but her eyes are just very stretched, they look nothing like mine. Is it wrong for me to be questioning my fiancé when this would have never crossed my mind before? Am I just being paranoid? How do I go about addressing this? Do I even say anything? My biggest fear is that the baby is somehow mine and she will be extremely hurt that I accused her of sleeping with someone else. I just don't know what to do. Please help me. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Get a DNA test and secretly do it yourself. If the results come back that you're the father, then congratulations to you. If the results come back that you're not the father, then you need to have a serious talk with your fiancé. Get the DNA test done before you get married. Asterisk, please update us what happens. Comment 2. Can I question, OP, exactly how are you sterile? Was it confirmed that none of your liquid are able to fertilize, or you don't make any ore? OP reply. After trying for a while and nothing happening, we went to a doctor. I was told that my sperm count was almost non-existent, and that the possibility of us having a baby without fertility treatments would be impossible. After finding out that she was finally pregnant, the doctor pretty much just told us that it was nothing short of a miracle, and that was the only way he could explain it. At the time it felt great, but looking back it just worries me that he had no medical explanation for how I was able to impregnate her, and now seeing the baby, it's a lot. Comment 3. Here's a question, how much do you care if it's yours or not? Sounds like you're effectively out of the gene pool, and you both wanted a child, so is the problem just the infidelity, or are you truly upset that the child isn't yours? If you found out she just purchased the sperm and didn't sleep with anyone at all, how would you feel about that? OP reply. The possible infidelity is my concern. After seeing that we couldn't have a baby with my sperm, I was more than open to the idea of a sperm donor, adoption, and even fertility treatment. However, we said we would put all of that aside and just relax, and then figure out what route we wanted to take later.